But we begin at Celtic Park, where talk of new Soviet signings was less important to the Celtic fans than a solid and winning performance against Dundee, whose manager Dave Smith was paying his first ever visit to one of Britain's most famous grounds. Archie Macpherson's been there a few times before.
Well, if you're looking for the names of Mick McCarthy and Andy Walker, they are simply not there. They are the casualties from Wednesday night. But Celtic, of course, have Tommy Burns to come in. I wouldn't call Tommy a veteran, but he's got more experience than any of the other Celtic players. And there's Dundee, riven by injury and by suspension. They tried to sign a couple of players this week, but Dave Smith, a very colourful and eloquent manager, is discovering that when you do that, people talk silly money. Well, isn't it nice to see a young lassie as a mascot? I'm sure Roy Aiken, who's a marvellous coach, by the way, with youngsters, would teach her a few things about the game. And a man with a red jacket, I hope he turns round towards us, is Douglas Hope. There he is. Come on, Douglas, shows your face. Other half of the David Hope brother partnership, and I bumped into Davey in the Olympic Games in Seoul where he was doing his stint. And off go Dundee. You might see sun at either end of the ground streaming across it, looking almost like a spring day. Believe you me, there are decided hints of autumn in the air, and I think by the end of the afternoon, when the sun goes in, we'll be in brass monkey temperatures. Well, that's a lovely little ball played out there to Lawrence. Well, nice spanking start by Dundee. It's going to be a very cold afternoon, and I think it's incumbent upon the players to give us a stuff that warms the cockles of the heart. Not a bad start by Dundee, confident. Dundee beat Celtic at Dens Park, and I'm sure Celtic regard that as a bit of an insult for the record and will wish a stinging rebuke to them this afternoon. And Dundee, in fact, are penalised. That's a free kick. Now Joe Miller. Rogan with the support and got round very easily. That was Billy Stark. Bicycle shots and all. Nice little turn of the ball by Rogan. Good combination that. Difficult ball, turning the defence. And Stark, little chip with his left foot. Oh, very loose ball after having played it around confidently. Stark leaving it to Miller. Well, I do like the way Joe Miller goes at defences. Just looked actually as if he'd run out of ideas there. Cavani will have to be watched very closely by this Dundee defence, and they had everybody back. Far right. Nice little ball through. That's the best of McStay. There's a 1-2 on here. Burns, excellent play. Tommy Burns, can he put it in? He does. Stop. Quite excellent goal. They really did have the measure of the Dundee defence this time. That was always on that 1-2, and watch Stark coming up here. Neat little prod, and there he was in the sunlight, 1-0. That's with only about, just over 5 minutes gone, by the way. He will try to get back very quickly after that. Good piece of football that by Celtic. Just a little bit too precise by Dundee. Shannon trying to run the outside. Burns looks as if he's in his element this afternoon. Miller, delightfully done. I think the good thing about that was the balance he kept. Celtic flowing now. Ooh, there's the start. Tommy Coyne, Dundee striker, should get bonus money for that. Right in the heart of his defence, playing almost like a centre half. Watch him. If he hadn't been there, it was number 2. That's so the back of the head, and it's a goal kick. Celtic really rampant at the moment. Aiken at the back has been having a rather casual afternoon. By casual, I mean I don't think he's been under any great strain. Seems to be enjoying it. McGee. Ooh, that. Again, football on the ground of the highest quality by Celtic. Just watch this build up from midfield. Good running off the ball, and watch a typical McGee turn and shot. Not a bad player, is he? Gaveni. Buns. There must be the shot, Morris. That was beautifully touched. It really was. Oh, doesn't he love it? So he might. Some fullbacks might have ballooned us high over the bar. No, this is really clinical finishing. Look at that, defenders in front of him, and I think Billy McNeil's got an auxiliary striker there in his hands. So they're playing with great confidence. Oh, running neatly into spaces like Morris there. He might be looking for his hat-trick now. Not that route. The dummy was neat, but even had it got through to McGee, I think he was going to be offside. That's through very well indeed. Oh, really? Well, you don't want to be too hard on players in a situation like that, but there's a lack of confidence about the way they go forward into the Celtic defence, and you really ought to be more positive again than that. Celtic coasting, Roy Aiken wanting to come forward on a little charge. Here's Aiken. Aiken playing at the back, of course. Mick McCarthy not here. White on his own, and he's shot with that. They must score this time, surely. 2-1. A little bit laboured, but young Steve Frail coming up in support reduces the leeway. Harvey did have the opportunity, might have got himself. Again he turns back from goal, but this time he had support. 21 minutes gone. And he'll be delighted. Well, you're seeing in Chris Morris, the modern fullback, who has to be an attacker, and he proved it today with that goal. That will be a corner kick. Tosh McKinley at the near post, and Dundee on the left side of the defence have been drawn out a great deal and exposed themselves. That's Joe Miller. Rogan tries to go up again, McStay! And a brilliant save by Guinness. Oh, that's marvellous entertainment, you know. Great outside a foot shot by McStay. Not easy, that. Really isn't. And Bobby Guinness with a marvellous save after that. There's the curl, and again it was Bobby Guinness saving Dundee. But I love that shot by McStay. Little chip forward. Has he got it in? He has. Oh no, just to the side. And even the crowd underneath thought it had gone in, and that was a sound of relief more than anything else. Well, he turned beautifully on it and then swept it in, and from this angle that looked as if it was bound for the corner of the net. Dundee have fought very well to come back into this game. McStay. McGee. Oh, that's again Guinness. There cannot have been much of a view of goal there by Mark McGee. You can see again, defenders in front of him, and he almost prodded it round. What a fine afternoon Bobby Guinness is having. And a vastly entertaining game now. Well, White didn't do that at all confidently. Certainly committed himself to go for it, but it was off the back of the head. There's McGee. No offside. And again, Dundee exposed on this left side. Oh yes, facing a confident Dundee goalkeeper now. Stark. Crowd liked it. Really not much else he could do. He was well out of goal, right on the 18-yard line, and just an inclination of the head. Again, Roy Aiken beaten, and that's the equalizer by Graham Harvey. 2 each, with about 8 minutes of this half remaining. That was astonishing, the way that Aiken was easily beaten in the air. This time, Harvey did extremely well to ward off the attention and finish off. And they had the many roads and miles to Dundee, but a little bunch of supporters there, quite jubilant. Roy Aiken. Miller. Nice little chip forward. Stark. Still in play, and Shannon Easily beaten there, in fact. Still the pressure on. And that was a goal kick. And just for a moment, I thought that Dundee defence was going to freeze again. They weren't marking players closely enough. And look at the number of players Celtic got driving into the penalty area. And as they came out, it was McKinley who kept McGee onside. And Miller's shot was never there. Gravity coming up. Is right. Way to the far side, there's Harvey, and there's Pierre, that's in. 3-2, would you believe? Right on the half-time whistle. Stuart Rafferty, this is astonishing. Well, what a transformation in this game. Now that was beautifully flighted by Wright. Harvey across, and Rafferty sliding in. All credit to this side for the way they've... It's not just a case of fighting back, they've played very good football. They have exposed the frailty of the Celtic centre defence. And that is it. Miller. Oh, it's too strong. No, badly judged that. Stark. There's Stark. And Geddes mopping it up. And there goes the half-time whistle in one of the most amazing games I've ever seen between these two clubs at Celtic Park here. Now, really honestly, at 2-0, I had the strong indication, or there were the strong indications that Celtic would run away with this and run up a cricket score. We're playing superbly. That opening goal by Stark was a gem, a product of a good combined move, and the finishing itself, very cute finishing indeed. And then the fullback Morris coming up to make it 2-0 with a shot which many a striker would have been very proud of. And at that stage I thought, well, here we go. The deluge follows. It did nothing of the kind because Dundee exposed the Celtic defence, and that rush forward there by Harvey found the support of Frail. And then Harvey himself has been running very strongly, getting that Celtic, second goal when he was pushing upfield. And then just before half-time, as you've just seen, with good support again for Harvey Rafferty, slipping it in. And I would imagine the team talks in both dressing rooms are going to be quite volatile. And Celtic at the start of the second half very significantly have made a substitution. Lex Bailey is on in centre defence alongside Roy Aitken. That's not entirely surprising because suddenly astonishing holes had opened up in that Celtic defence right down the middle. Paul McStay. Well, that's a superb pass. Morris looking aggressive, and that's a corner kick. And Celtic want to try and rush Dundee off their feet right at the start of the second half. Roy Aitken will stay at the back, and Lex Bailey goes up, and he is number 12. Swings away, and McAvenny left rather stranded. Rafferty. Billy Stark. Well, that Dundee defence looked none too sure of itself, certainly in the first 20 minutes or so. And I think they might just commit suicide if they think they can lie back on that one-goal lead. I think that would suit Celtic nicely. Dundee have shown they can play very attractive football and come at Celtic and be successful. At McAvenny, though. McGee, side net. And there was a deflection. Corner kick. Miller, that's an enticing ball. And Bailey had come up. Very good in the air. Harvey tries to get it. He's run very well today for Dundee. Billy Stark. It's a good ball. McGee's got a shot at goal on here. Yes, he did make for goal. And he liked the ball, and he was quite right to fire out at it like that. Was in a very good position, and you can see that tackle might just to put him off. Taken by Rafferty, whose distribution has been neat and precise. Aiken has to play safe. Certainly a different Dundee team from the one we saw in the opening stages of the game. I think it was a combination of nerves and lack of organisation in defence. Challenger by Celtic in midfield. There's Tommy Quine. Well, they love that, the crowd. There's McAvenny. That's a very good ball. McAvenny pulled, and that will be a booking. In fact, you do not like to see fouls like that, because it's a possibility that we might get a red card. You always think that if a player commits a foul like that, when quite obviously someone's going through on goal, then he might say, well, let's just go for the yellow card here. It'll be safer. Because McAvenny was certainly going to go through. Now this is interesting. Burns and Rogan and Stark couldn't get it through that very tight wall of players. Too much congestion in front of them. Now Roy Aiken. Celtic supporters now roaring their team on. Miller. Neat judgment. And Guinness. There is going to be a veritable forest of players around him for the rest of the game, I think. And he remained cool. Played by Dundee again. Wright tries to go in, and he really tried too much on his own. No, too much. We're taken by Miller now. McAvenny. Lawrence, whom we've seen very little in this game. Nice little bust. Now McAvenny. Celtic piling into it as much pressure as they can. The feeling being that if they keep grinding away, they'll break down this defence. Bailey did well on that. Frail gives it out to Rafferty. Much too slow on the ball. McStay was coming through well. Well, that's to Burns. He did that very well, and he just got away with it. Frail kept his head. Now Rafferty. The counter-attack. Here's Coyle. Shocking finish. I think he ran out of nerve. good break by Dundee, I must say. They fanned out well. That's McKinley. Low free kick, got away with that. Oh, and again in a tangle, Dundee. Here's Stark, now McStay. Tremendous pressure by Celtic now. McGee. And Geddes, I think, keeps that just in play. Was out, free kick. Who got the final touch as a goal kick? Bonner will be hoisting high balls towards that goal mouth. That's a better ball. Stretching Dundee. McGee. No, just away to the side. It may have passed through his mind to lay it off to somebody, but I think that's what he thought the Dundee players were thinking as well, and they tried to wrong foot them. But he was pushed away to the side, Geddes having it well covered. Aiken. There's a bit of a charge by Aiken. And he's exposed now, he's out of position. Well, that's a very good ball. It is right. Morris with them. Harvey trying a chip, and there's Bonner. Excellent save again. And Dundee in these breakaways with these two players, Harvey and Wright, are always giving a hint of menace. Roy Aiken. And you want to come forward, but there goes the final whistle. A quite astonishing turnaround in this game. And Dundee playing superbly from being 2-0 behind. Have brought up a remarkable double. You will recall that they won the last game at Dens Park, and their small but loyal band of supporters away in the left-hand side will have a very pleasant journey back, as will that man there, Dave Smith, just going out of camera shot. There he is, very flamboyant and articulate man, and I'll tell you what, there is no way I'm allowing him to go to Dundee without talking to him.
Mr. Smith, I wonder if what went through my mind after 20 minutes went through yours, that you were going to be taken apart.
Yes, I was sat upstairs nice and comfortable, and after 20 minutes I got a bit uncomfortable, and I went downstairs. But yes, we started off very, very shaky, and I think we started off, as a lot of teams start off probably at Celtic Park, just being a little bit in awe of people. Yes, I think we were a bit apprehensive, and I think the longer the game went on, the more we settled down.
And beautiful goals they scored, these two goals that were scored.
Oh, yeah.
You always look at it as defensive errors, of course.
Yes, I know. I thought we did some silly defending there, but no, I think Celtic are always capable of doing things like that. All that was said at half-time was like, we've given them 2 goals, that's how we described it, and we pulled back to 3-2, and the game's within our grasp.
The players you had up front, Harvey and Wright, ran very well, and they were certainly disturbing the centre of the Celtic defence.
Yes, I thought Graham Harvey had a great game today, and Keith Wright, Tommy Coyne. No, I think today was a team effort today, and it was just nice to see that.
Your goals were well taken.
I think they were superb goals, and I think they come at the right time, and I think this is football, isn't it? I mean, I think one of the papers this morning was 11-4 against us, and the bookie said bookies are always right, so...
Now, you are fond of quoting William Shakespeare. I just wonder if you could finish the interview off with something that might just be appropriate for what's happened.
I think when you come to Celtic or Glasgow Rangers, I think it's the one about, I don't know whether it's Shakespeare or not, I don't think it is Browning maybe. But a man's reach should exceed his grasp, or what's a heaven for? And I think that's what we've all got to reach for.